What up? What up? What up?
Once again, it's on. What's happening?
Listen, we here, baby. We here.
We are back.
Listen, I want to throw this out there. So, listen, good people, you already know what it is, what it do, what it could be, what it should be. You know what I mean? And what it ain't. It is the I Stand on That podcast. We on episode 95, shouty. 95. Like, we've been here. Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years.
Yeah,
Got
man.
South Florida City in the building. Got Mr. Daily Insight. You know what I'm saying? Hey, talk to the people, Sid. What you want them to know for the day,
Hey,
baby?
man, listen, we're back. It's going to be a great episode. I'm telling you now. Today is going to be a great episode, man. You guys are going to get a lot of laughs. There's going to be a lot of conversation around it. Hey, our queen for the day is Jody Watley back there. Shout out to Jody Watley. If you don't know who she is, you can Google her. Famed from Shalimar, famous for her career being a solo artist, and famous for hating Howard Hewitt even to this day. She hates Howard Hewitt's guts as a group member. I'm going to see Howard Hewitt a little later today at a day concert. So shout out to that brother too. But today about Jody Watley, man. Look how beautiful she is. Let's go.
How can you hate Howard Hewitt, man?
Exactly. She hates Howard Hewitt. She refuses to do concerts with him or anything. Doesn't want to talk to him. Howard Hewitt's like, hey, man, I'm in the church now. I've changed my life. And she still won't talk to me. So
every now and then, the light skins will get to you. You know what I'm talking about? Every now and then that light skin get to you. Mr. Daily Insight, man. Holla at these people, bro. Say good morning, man.
Hey, that's what it is. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but now. We are here now. You know what I mean? So make sure y'all follow, subscribe to all the platforms at I Stand on That podcast. Help us get to that 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that. We still pushing that needle, but we need y'all. We need y'all to help us out. But I go by Mr. Daily.
Absolutely.
Insight, Mr. 305. Mr. To do it all, Mr. 1,000 Jobs, Gary, like to say. So we back, and let's get this conversation started.
Hey, listen, Mr. Daily Insight in here sounded like a Drake drop. He out here like he got AI. He Mr. Raspy. He sounded like Casey and Jodeci after the crack cocaine hit his throat. I don't know what's going on with the rasp. Listen,
hey,
I did want to holler at y'all, man, because
deep voice. It's the deep voice. I don't know, maybe it's the voice.
Listen, you sounded like a bootleg Barry White, baby. This ain't the midnight. This ain't not the quiet storm.
Shout out to Barry White.
It was the quiet storm. Hey, listen. Listen. First of all, we actually got something to celebrate, right? It's one of those moments. It's a first. You know what I mean? And I got nightmares about some firsts, but this is one of the good ones. So first time ever that we are actually not live, and we are pre-recording the episode. We kind of want to see, like, how does this flow, right? So if you're commenting, if you out there, you kind of doing some stuff, don't be mad at us for not shouting you out like we normally do.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 420 special, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't know what 420 is, don't Google it, because I don't need nobody judging me for knowing what 420 is about. But it is a 420 special, which is why I'm sure Howard Hewitt and all of these people are going to be in South Florida today out there performing.
Mm-hmm.
South Florida City is going to be smelling a whole lot of dank.
I'll be smelling like I won't be partaking, but I'll be unfortunately smelling like
it. It's like
we're going to have a good time.
It's Midnight Star, tonight, baby.
Midnight Star will be out there, so Dina Howard. So it's a good concert.
Listen, it's a little medicinal therapy, a little aromatherapy. But no, listen, man. Real talk, guys. I know. Normally we kind of try to just jump straight into topics, but there's been a lot of things happening.
But real quick, if you don't mind, Gary, real quick, just to add on what you were saying, guys, don't stop watching. We want you to continue watching, and post in the comment section. Put in the comment section anything that you like, that you want to comment about the episode and everything. We still want your interaction. So even though we're not live, definitely put whatever you want to say in the comment section. Let's get those comment sections up. My bad. Go ahead, Gary.
There's no doubt that we need the engagement, guys. Like we ain't doing this. We ain't, honestly, as much as I love to talk, I ain't talking to myself. I would love for some feedback. Listen, tell me where I'm right. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me what I can do.
Tell me where you disagree. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, I'm gonna just be sipping on my iced coffee with a little, with a little something in it for Sunday brunch.
Yeah, man, definitely.
But listen, like I was about to say, man, there's been so many things that have been happening over the last couple of weeks.
Yes,
and I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know where to start, but I know where I'm gonna start. Right?
What's that?
So just give me 2 quick thoughts. Give me 2 seconds of a quick thought, because I'm gonna be honest with you. This OJ situation, like R.I.P. Rest in peace, Orenthal James Simpson. I say that because I'm a man with a pure heart, a clean heart. I don't judge. Listen, I've been told I'm not supposed to be the judge nor the jury, right? And anytime we lose a life, I feel like that should be acknowledged, period, point blank. So whether the man was innocent or guilty, he was still a man, a human being. The fact that we all know who he is means he attempted to contribute something to all of us, right? I got some feelings about the fact that you got people out here celebrating the man's death. I just don't think that that's right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hold you. I was at work, like where you're supposed to be professional and get paid. And somebody was like, now that he's dead, hopefully they'll find that glove. And I was like, wow.
How many years has it been?
That body ain't even cold yet.
How many years has it been since that trial?
96? 96?
96. Yeah, you talking about
96.
28 years ago, my guy.
Yeah.
28 years ago.
Yeah.
If you are still oppressed and obsessed with something that happened 28 years ago, you are exactly where you are on purpose in life. I just want you to understand that. If you can't let it go,
hold on. To play devil's advocate, what about slavery? Should we be oppressed still? That this goes both ways, my brother. This goes both ways. So
hold on, slow down.
Go ahead.
Listen, because what I can tell you right now is the oppression still exists.
So
here's what you don't hear me complaining about. You don't hear me complaining about nobody being in no chains.
Okay.
What you do hear me complaining about is fairness and equity in society. What you do hear me complain about is going to be systemic oppression. What you do hear me complain about is the lack of education. When you got a governor in Ron DeSantis who jumps out there and says no more DEI, no more teaching basically real actual history in the classroom. What do I pay my taxes for if I don't get to send my kids to a school where they get to learn actual history? So when you hear us having a conversation about the inequity in society, it's not just because what happened back in when we were in chains was one of the most egregious crimes against humanity in the history of the world to our knowledge, right? It's about the fact that it is still happening today. As of right now, there are more Black women that die in hospitals and getting medical care than any other race.
Well, yeah, and that's right, man. But I'll say this, just kind of bringing it back to OJ, because y'all about to start potting.
Y'all
about to start potting. Look, I don't have much to say on OJ. I'll be honest. At the end of the day, all of us grew up in that era. We all know where we were when OJ, was found not guilty. We all know where we were when the white Bronco was on live TV and the NBA Finals was being played, and they cut from the NBA Finals to the car chase. I mean,
I just want to say, Sid, because you mentioned it, right? If you ain't got a friend like that'll drive that Bronco the way he drove that Bronco, OJ, my God, you need to get you one.
Get you a friend like that.
That'll drive the Bronco for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, So we all lived through it. I don't want to, beat a dead horse. I feel like OJ is a conversation that's been happening for the last 28 years. RIP to that guy. One thing I do want to say, he was an unbelievably great running back. And that's one thing people don't want to keep forgetting. One of the greatest running backs of all time. Ran for 2,000 yards when it was unheard of to run for 2,000 yards. Was a great back at USC. And, as far as being a football player, he's one of the greats. Hey, whether you want to consider him a bad human being, that's fine. But he's gone now. So you can't kill him again. He's dead and buried. And at the end of the day, he deserves to rest in peace like everybody else. So shout out to OJ. That's really all I have to say about O.
And you know what? And I do want to throw out there. I agree with everything that you just said. But I also want to say, listen. I'll be honest, right? I think if we get emotionally attached to things, then we could say things like, he doesn't deserve this, he doesn't deserve that. But at the end of the day, if we're just being, kind of just as neutral as possible and just looking at things for what they are, like I said, the man made a contribution. And if you hate him, then just be quiet, bro. Like, it ain't no need to spit on the grave and do all of that kind of stuff, because as Mr. Contradiction down there did, right? Playing devil's advocate, it will come back on you. And listen, if you like your boy, you ready for it. You know what I'm saying? But not everybody's always ready. So be prepared. Know that what you put out there will come back on you. You know what I mean? So live a little better than that. Now, listen, moving on. OJ's done. The conversation, I should say. But I do want to say, are we in this season right now? Right? With this hip hop game, like, are we in this season? I'm trying to understand. Like, bro, when Chris Brown has the hardest diss track on radio, what does that tell you? I don't know. Or does Chris Brown have the hardest diss track? I don't know. Like, talk to me. Listen, Sid,
listen. I hold on. I got up this morning, and South Florida said, I think you said you heard it or whatever. And I'm sitting, bro. I had to listen to that thing at least 7 times. You know what I mean? And all I could think of, because his ending line or message was similar to Back to Back when he said, "Hey, you're getting bodied by a singing nigga." Like, that's when he said that. I kid you not. Chris Brown went hard. I think he should just go rap 24/7. He done enough R&B music. I like his music. He dancing, pop locking, and doing all. Listen, brother, just go ahead and start rapping, because you got some bars. I don't know who wrote the bars. I don't know if they were his. I don't even care. You might as well start rapping, because the bars, the lines, they were punching and they were hitting hard. You know what I mean? So I kind of felt offended, like I was Drake or somebody. You know what I mean?
No, I get it, man.
But I honestly, even though I think this process is kind of a thing to where everybody's, is it real or is it fake? We were just having this conversation offline. I think it's great for hip hop, point blank, period. And that's my 2 cents on it. I just think it's great for hip hop. Everybody bringing their A game, and it's getting back to the basics. What I like to say.
Yeah, no.
Back to the basics. It's good for rap.
No, yeah, you're right, man. You're right, Lump. I think that everybody came at Drake, and then I feel like I think the number one thing is, and you didn't bring this up, Lump, is let's give a shout out. And Lump, you my age, we're all the same age. Let's give a shout out to Rick Ross for saying to himself, you diss me, I'm coming back with my diss track within 2 hours. He had his track ready within 2 hours, Lump. You know what I mean? 2 hours. No one's giving him props. Me and Gary, you and I had the conversation. What did I predict last Sunday? And he knows what I'm about to say. I said Kendrick's not going to respond. Kendrick's not responding to Drake. Kendrick is going to let this blow over. He's not responding. And as of yet, we're 6 days later, 7 days later, and Kendrick still hasn't responded.
Well,
and listen, I don't think he will respond.
Hold on, but what we got to do is be fair, right? It took Drake 2 weeks to respond. Let's not move the basket, right? Kendrick was the one that threw the shot. He threw the shot, right? And listen, people can say what they want to say. They're not giving J. Cole enough credit for being the first one to come out and be like, hold on, homie. And I'm gonna be honest with you. People can say what they want to say. When it goes bar for bar for bar for bar, J. Cole's initial response was actually better than Drake's initial response, in my opinion. And they were both softies, right? Neither one of them was Ether. Neither one of them was the takeover. Neither one of them was any of that, right? And so I'm just in a place right now where, if I'm being real, Sid, I listen. Drake's second response, the one that dropped last night, right, where he's AI Tupac and AI Snoop, and then himself in the end, that was actually a solid little, like, on some creative level, right? That was nice. Creativity.
Yeah, absolutely.
People are overlooking the fact that Kendrick used Tupac's AI on the Pimple Butterfly, right?
Yes.
So we know the affinity that everybody on the West Coast has for Snoop. Snoop weighed in. Snoop was like, why y'all calling me about this foolishness, bro? He was like, who did what, when? He listened to it. He was like, I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah. That's how I felt about it. Like, I'm at a point right now where it's like, guys, you know, this is not going to go much further. Kendrick's not going to respond. Drake's going to ignore Rick Ross. You know, and let's just all go about our lives. You know, I guess it's good for hip hop. It would have been a lot more fun if we had immediate, rapid responses. But if we're not going to get that, then I'm ready to move on, you know?
Can I be honest? And I say this as somebody with, listen, I love Miami. I love Miami hip hop. Dude, South Florida. Listen, I love Rick Ross, right? Port of Miami, one of the greatest albums I've ever heard from hip hop, as a debut album from an artist. Port of Miami is top tier. I love it. But I don't think that Drake is really worried about Rick Ross from a music standpoint, right? From a music standpoint, one thing I love about Ross, and I want to throw this out there as a compliment, dude, Ross is going, he gonna come at you. He not hesitating. He coming. He survived the war with 50 Cent. Not many people can stand and say that, right? And actually, his trajectory went up after the
exactly.
And listen, Officer Ricky, I thought was going to shake it. I thought the Officer Ricky thing was going to break him. You know what I mean? But he's here. He's still here to this day, and he ain't afraid of Drake. And I listen. I give Rick Ross all the kudos for that.
He was like, "Yeah, I'm ready."
Yeah, even his baby mama was talking trash too, though. I don't know if y'all seen that.
Yeah. That Tia Kemp lady, she's that's a whole nother story. The Tia Kemp lady. It sounds like she's she just sounds like she's very bitter. You know,
salty.
Yes, and salty.
Listen,
you know?
Old pretzel ass.
Exactly. But real quick, what do y'all? Let me get just pivoting a little bit. And we had a great women's NCAA title game last Sunday.
Yeah.
Most watched. I want. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it the most watched college championship game by either gender, men or women?
No,
just women.
No.
Just women.
Just
okay.
Women. Just women.
That's still big though. You know, 20 million people.
It's huge.
Yeah, 20 million people. It was a good game. You know, Caitlin Clark just ran into a juggernaut. I mean, South Carolina's probably going to end up winning it again next year. I mean, those women can play. They only lose one person, I think, off that team. So they're coming back next year. Shout out to Caitlin Clark. I don't know how much of an impact she'll have on the WNBA. I know she got drafted by the Indiana Fever, I guess, or something. So maybe she can, bring some stuff to WNBA. I hope so. Because did you see some of their salaries? I mean, starting salary is like $100,000 a year. So whatever she can help to get the WNBA pushing forward at a more of a rapid pace, I'm all for.
I do want to throw out there though that I'm a little disappointed in the WNBA. And I'm disappointed in some of these. I'm disappointed in the WNBA. I understand return on investment, right? And so I get it. You know what I mean? About the salaries, I get it. But I also know that you only get out of something what you put into it, right? I remember when the NBA wasn't what it is now.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So invest in the WNBA, man, because there are some very good female hoopers out there, and listen, I'm gonna be honest. It was more entertaining. The female tournament, the women's NCAA tournament, was more entertaining than the men's tournament, hands down.
Not even close.
Wasn't
Not
even
even
close, bro.
close. Not
Wasn't even close.
the men's championship game was being played on BET Plus. You couldn't even get it on regular TV. You had to go to the BET Plus app to watch that game.
So, question.
And I'm kidding. It was on TBS. But dude, for that game to be on TBS,
So question. So the
unheard
question
of.
is:
Are you saying NPR was broadcasting the men's tournament? NPR.
So are we going to see a shift in women's basketball as far as audience goes?
If they invest in it now,
yeah,
you got to capitalize on it. You got to capitalize on it right now. Now, I will say this: one thing I'm a little bothered by was when I found out that there are only three female basketball players with a shoe. They're all white women. Caitlin Clark, who hasn't even played a game yet, already has a shoe. But then you got people who are in the league right now balling like I don't know what, and they don't have shoes.
Yeah,
listen,
I didn't know that.
I got a 15-year-old daughter, 16-year-old daughter. I got a 16-year-old daughter who's about to be 17 this year. Golly, I'm getting old, shouty.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a daughter who I want to be able, if she's going to watch sports, I want her to be able to watch women ball. I also want her to be able to see, like, if as much as I love the fact that my daughter wants Jordans, I would love for her to be like, yo, Dad, can I get them Cheryl Swoops?
Yeah.
And maybe I'm showing my age and calling out Cheryl Swoops. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. I think the only one I could do is Juju Watkins. She's gonna be the one. You know, she's coming up. She's from USC. She's in LA. The LA market is gonna really push her big time. So I think if it's gonna happen, it could be Juju. We'll see. You know. So what else? We'll see though.
Well, hold on. So you're telling me you don't think that there are any current players that should have a shoe, or
well,
are you saying?
I mean, marketability wise, as far as you know, she's in. I'm basing it strictly on the fact that she's in that LA market. You know, that LA market is gonna push them. You know,
my biggest thing is what about Asia Wilson is in Las Vegas, balling like crazy. Her numbers are stupid, right? She's, in my opinion, probably the best player in the WNBA, and she don't have a shoe though. That's why I think I'm a little upset right now.
I got you. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Hey, shout out to the WNBA. Shout out to Caitlin Clark. Shout out to you.
And one last thing, the salary should be on an upward trajectory for the women as well. Yes. I think that should.
For them to be making what they're making is crazy. That's ridiculous. Those salaries. But shout out to Caitlin Clark. Shout out to the University of South Carolina. Shout out to Dawn Staley. And shout out to the WNBA. And hey, we'll see. You know
what I hope. I'm gonna put this out there, Dawn Staley. If this ever gets across your ears, from my lips to your ears, Dawn Staley, I want you to be the first coach for women's basketball, NCAA basketball, to get your whole squad NIL money. I want the whole squad NIL up. You know what I mean?
Let's see.
Because listen, for y'all to be winning like y'all winning, for y'all to be increasing the ratings, right? You're gonna get some, Dawn. You're gonna get some solidarity in your life and in your position. You ain't gonna have to worry about your job for a while. So now start to use that platform that these girls are helping you build to get these girls some money. Because, like we said, it was the more entertaining of all. So now these women should also start to see NIL money coming through in abundance and overload. Let the cup runneth over, people.
Oh, we in church.
Yeah, we'll see.
We in church.
Shout out to them. Shout out to them.
Listen, anything else?
Nah, I think those are, well, there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't think anybody really cares about the Donald Trump stuff. But as far as the main stuff.
Miss Angela Reese's outfit, looking like old girl from Boomerang.
Who?
I forgot this lady's name. Angela Reese, doing the draft.
Oh, Angel Reese. Oh yeah, the outfit she had.
Angel Reese. I don't know if y'all seen it. The outfit she looked like.
I saw it.
The lady from Boomerang.
She had the Grace Jones outfit. She had the Grace Jones hoodie.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, making fashion sense. And I think last thing on her, I think she's going to make an impact as well. So in the WNBA, have her own shoe. So we'll see how that goes, though.
Yeah, we'll see. Shout out to them. Well, let's get to the main topics. And everybody's like, okay, guys, great, WNBA, OJ, that rap.
No. Not main topic.
Oh, okay.
Listen, we're going to hold on. Let me slow the train down a little bit.
Go ahead.
Listen. So first of all, I want to start with this. Shout out to everybody out there for giving us a lot of feedback. You've made it very clear that South Florida Sid's top 10 should stay around for a little while. Even though some people getting real mad at my guy, you won't let me take karate class. You gonna be mad at me for playing video games? Man, let these people live, Sid. But
I'm gonna let them live.
We here for it, right?
Oh, we're doing top 10 now. Okay.
It's time. It's time. So listen, love, come on, man. Roll the intro, brother.
Time.
So are we ready?
8 times.
Are we ready for the top 10?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, hold on.
I want to
let's
see.
see.
We need to hold this man accountable. Elder.
Once again, it's on. It's your boy South Florida Sid. My man G-Man said, whoa, time out. We're not going to one of the topics just yet. We got to drop that top 10 in there. So I said, okay. I listen to the people, and the people have spoken. We got the top 10 together. And listen, guys, don't kill your boy. I'm just the messenger. I just delivered a message. Don't beat me up. Don't internet bully me or anything like that. The top 10 is supposed to be fun. Have fun with it. Jeez, come on. If you want to go to karate class, go to karate class 865. Go ahead. But this week's top 10.
Miyagi Dojo.
We are. Fine. Go ahead and go. Top 10 things you must do during a midlife crisis. We're combining men and women. So when I say what it is, I'll specify it to a man or a woman. Are you guys ready? Let's get to it. Because a lot of you guys are going through a midlife crisis, and your boy is here to help you get through it and make sure you understand that at the end of the day, you have to do this. Number 10, all men, go and get your sports car or a muscle car, right? Go and get your Challenger, get the Scat Pack, chop off the pipes and make sure those pipes are loud. Make sure you skid out of your workplace, right? Roll your window down a little bit, blasting your music so all your coworkers can hear you, right? The guys who bought, you can tell they just bought their Challenger, just got the Scat Pack in it, and just got the loud pipes, and they skirt out of the parking lot, and you look in their window, and they're 75 years old. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Go ahead and do it, though. Enjoy yourself. Muscle cars, number 10 for the midlife crisis. For the men, that is, right? Number 9, you are wearing the same outfits as your teenage daughter for the women. If you and your daughter say, listen, let's go out, right? And you both have the same you look in the mirror, you have the same outfit on. Women, you are going through a midlife crisis. Understand, if you are in your 40s and 50s, you can't be wearing the same thing as your daughter who's 16, 17. Take that outfit off. You're going through a midlife crisis. Or leave it on. Either way, understand you are in a midlife crisis. Any comments? None. Good. That means I'm doing good. Number 8 for the men, trying to relive the old days. What do I mean? What do you mean, South Florida said? Gary has an athlete son. Jaden, shout out to my dog, Jaden Harrington, who's an athlete. Gary has tried to race Jaden numerous times, and each time Jaden dusts his father. Gary, you do not run the 100 and 200 meters anymore like back in 1999.
Lies. Listen. I just want to throw this in there because I want the people to know I'm holding him accountable. That is not true, people. Gary was smart enough that he stopped racing them the minute he got a little close. I was like, exactly. I'm retired forever.
Men, you cannot relive the old days. If you're 50-something years old and you haven't picked up a basketball in 30 years, if you go out there, I'm telling you, you're going to pull a muscle. Or you're going to injure your meniscus, or you're going to get a Charlie horse, and you're going to embarrass yourself. Everybody can't be like Lump. My man Lump here, Mr. Daily Insight, is in tip-top condition. He can still go out to that field and lock him down if he wants to. But the rest of y'all jokers like me, we will get hurt and injured. We have to go to work the next day. So do not relive your old days during your midlife crisis. Come on. Number 7. You're going to get the jacket, and you're going to buy a Yamaha or a Ninja if you're a man and join the club, join a bike gang. Shout out to my man, Joe Hunter, who's a loyal listener, who's probably listening right now. My man, Joe Hunter, a.k.a. RJ, shout out to Dallas, Texas. bought a Yamaha when he was 21. He turned that thing in when he was 25. He said, you know what? I'm too old for this. This is not for me. I will kill myself. But all you brothers out there and all you men out there who are 45, 46 years old, you got a little bit of money in your pocket. You say, you know what? I think I want to go ahead and buy that Yamaha. You go to the store. The guy sells you the Yamaha. Say, hey, do you want the jacket? Yeah, give me that jacket. You want the glasses? Yeah, give me the glasses. You want the shirt? Give me the shirt. You buy the whole package. And you screech out the parking lot. You go to Facebook. You join the Facebook gang. All y'all meet up at the pizza spot and compare Yamahas. You're going through a midlife crisis. Come on, man. Understand it. It's okay, though. Spot. But you know you're going through a midlife crisis, my brother.
Hold on, the pizza spot, my guy.
Look, where I live, those old jokers be at Chipotle. It'd be 100 of them out there comparing Yamahas and cars, and not one of them's under the age of 40. They are all going through a midlife crisis. Shout out to them, though. I'll join you in about 5 years, but not now. Number 6 for the women. You randomly want another kid. Oh my God. You are going through a midlife crisis. If you're 46, 70, or 47 years old, you roll over to your husband and say, you know what? I was thinking about having another child. And your husband rolls back over to you like, you know what? I think you lost your damn mind. You are going through a midlife crisis. No, you should not want a child in your mid-40s, late 40s. It's okay. You've had enough children. Enjoy retirement. Enjoy your later years. Don't try to bring another child into the fold at 50 years old. You don't want to do that. Trust me. I know I'm gonna get killed for this, but it doesn't matter. You are going through a midlife crisis. Don't do it.
Hold on, I got a question. Is it medically possible for a woman in 50 years old to have a baby?
They'll pay for it. If they got the money, I'm pretty sure somehow they'll pay for it. What is it, in vitro? Whatever that thing is called, I don't know. But they'll find a way to do it. They'll randomly just want a child. Go ahead, Go ahead, Lump.
No, I said vitro.
Yes, in vitro. Yes, yeah, they'll randomly want a child. They're going through a midlife crisis. Men, just understand. Work with them, pat them on the back, and say, "Honey, we ain't having no more children." Now go join a sewing club or something. Number 5. You are going through a midlife crisis if you've never taken a drug in your life, and all of a sudden you're in your 40s and 50s and say to yourself, you know what, I think I want to start smoking weed. I think that'd be a good hobby to pick up. And you start smoking weed randomly at 50 years old, and you've never smoked in your life. You are going through a midlife crisis. Don't start now. At the end of the day, shout out to 420 Day. I don't know what that means, but it's a pretty cool day. But if you never smoked today, do not celebrate 420 Day. Don't do it. Just pretend like it doesn't exist. You are going through a midlife crisis if you do. Right or wrong, right? Okay, number 4.
No, listen. Let me. Can I? If I can just inject, right?
Go ahead, Mr. 420.
Listen, I want to support you on that 100%. If you are not a smoker, don't be out here smoking.
Exactly.
And if it's been more than 10 years since you smoked, don't tell me back in the day I used to, because this shit that they're selling today is not what you used to smoke back in 10, 15 years ago. They are smoking shit that just has crystals on it and snow cones and all kind of shit. Don't smoke that shit. You will fuck around and have a heart attack.
Leave it alone. Shit, stay away from it. Leave it alone. You are going through a midlife crisis. Number 4, if you're a man and you look in the mirror, you take your shirt off, and you're in your 40s and 50s, you say, you know what? I think I want to become a bodybuilder. And you go to GNC and you buy every single protein shake, every single supplement. You say, I want to be I don't want to lift weights. No, I want to be a bodybuilder. I want to walk around looking like this. And you're 50 years old, dude, you can do it. However, you're going through a midlife crisis. Being a bodybuilder randomly at 50 years old, it's not normal. You are going through a midlife crisis. Take that protein shake back. Take those supplements back. Get your money back. Don't worry about it. Be happy in thine self. You don't need to become a bodybuilder. Go ahead, Mr. Daily Insight.
This one's going to cause some trouble, but that's all I got to say. But go ahead.
For the dudes out there who want to become bodybuilders at 50 years old, who never lifted a weight in their life, come on. They can do it. Go ahead.
I'm just celebrating some stretch marks, actually. I just want to let the whole world know. I got new stretch marks. I've lost some weight. I'm feeling real good about myself. I ain't trying to be no bodybuilder though. I just want to be healthy, baby. I just want to be healthy.
Nothing wrong with that, for sure. Number 3, to my women, if you leave the house one day and your hair is down your back, and you come home and your hair is cut all the way up here, and your husband looks at you like something's different about you. Oh, I cut my hair. You've never cut your hair in your life. I just want to do something different. You are going through a midlife crisis. Everybody knows. Men, look at me. When your wife, girlfriend, whoever cuts her hair out of the blue, she's going through a midlife crisis. Let her have it. Let her go. Let it go. If it looks cute on her, great. If it looks horrible on her, just say, you know what, honey? I think I like the long hair a little better, and let it fly. However, you let her know you are going through a midlife crisis.
So you're going to have men in the doghouse. So you better see you like it either way.
Shout out to
don't
listen to your boy South Florida Sid. Number 2, to my men. If you are 50, 60 years old, you are divorced, separated, or whatever, and you all of a sudden have an idea to say, you know what? I don't think I want to date somebody in my age range. I think I want to date a 21-year-old. So you're 60 years old, dating a 21-year-old, you are going through a midlife crisis. My friend, knock yourself out. Do whatever you want to do. Date whoever you want to date. Doesn't matter to me. Just know your boy South Florida said you are in a midlife crisis. If your girlfriend is younger than your daughter, if your girlfriend's the same age as your great-grandchild, you are going through a midlife crisis, my friend. Come on.
Living life. Those men are living life.
What happened?
Those men are living life. It's not a crisis. Those men are living life.
Listen, I got so many things I want to say right now, but I'm gonna let it breathe, bro.
You'll let it go. Okay, well, listen. And we're down to our number 1. This is gonna cause a lot of issues. This is gonna make some people mad, but you know what? It's your boy South Florida Sid. And where do I live? I live in South Florida. So I know a few things about what I'm about to say right now. The number 1 thing people or women should or are doing during a midlife crisis, drop that video.
What is a BBL?
A BBL is a Brazilian butt lift. Other words, fat transfer.
Just
putting it in my butt. Yeah. I went to DR because, they'll perform the surgery. They'll get you nice and snatched with a flat stomach. But see, DR and Colombia, they'll give you that nice Coke bottle. That Coke bottle look like, you know what I'm saying?
Your girl ain't got no ass, she need to buy one. Out west, southwest, where you fly from. New Jersey to the borough where I fly from.
People to be safe on their decisions, on their bodies. If a doctor tells you no, it's no.
Wow.
I Stand on That podcast and all of its members encourage everyone to make choices that are best for them. We do not necessarily endorse any procedures, but what we do endorse is to make yourself happy. Remember, these are just jokes and opinions, people.
It's your boy South Florida Sid. I saw you. All you women out there who were upset with me, I saw you in the Santo Domingo airport. I saw you getting wheeled through the airport with your pajamas on and the pillow. You had the pillow in the wheelchair. I saw you. You had your projector. I saw you in the hotel in Santo Domingo. I saw you. Well, they had a letter that said, if you are here for surgery and you are going to be here for more than 7 days, you cannot stay here because a nurse will not take care of you. I saw you. You guys are going over there and getting the money makeovers and getting the BBLs. God bless you. It's the summertime. Put the nice 2-piece on. Put your summer dress on and enjoy it. But understand, you're going through a midlife crisis. I love all of you. I love all the women out here. Do whatever you want with your body, but understand what's going on. It's your boy South Florida Sid, and that's
Hey, give it up for South Florida Sid on that one. Give it up for this dude, baby. That was awesome.
Listen, I got so many things to say right now. Oh my God. Listen, bro.
Well, he was in his bag on that one.
I hope you know they coming, bro. They are coming from South Florida City. And listen, the way you begged up Rick Ross, you better be ready to respond in 2 hours or less, brother. Listen, I just want everyone to know I Stand on That podcast is not representative of South Florida Sid's top 10. His opinions are his own.
Oh man, but that's your top 10. So hey, thank you everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. Leave your comments, leave your jokes. Understand it's for comedic purposes. Come on, nobody loves mommy makeovers more than me. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody out there who's going to get their mommy makeover.
Listen, here's what I know. All I know is I stand neutral. I'm not for nor am I against. Who in the hell am I to have an opinion on that? But I love it. Like, yes. and people, listen, I feel like South Florida Sid's taking this to the next level. You see the video unveil. You see all of these things. Talk to us. Let us know what you guys think. What's working, what isn't working. We love this, man. But Sid, thank you for another great South Florida Sid top 10, brother. I appreciate that.
We appreciate it. Well, let's get to these topics, right? Let's get to the topics. And we got everybody warmed up. We got everybody laughing. We got everybody, in a good mood. And we want to talk about double standards in relationships, right? We want to talk about things, and it's a big, huge topic. It's been something that's been going on in relationships for a long time that a lot of people want to talk about, but a lot of people are afraid to talk about specifically. Meaning, what are specific things that are considered double standards? Because believe it or not, double standards can hurt your marriage and also ruin your marriage or ruin your relationships. If somebody feels like, wait a minute, when I do this, it's a big deal, but when you do it, it should be water on the bridge. Why is that? That doesn't seem fair, right? How many times have you been in a relationship where you felt like there's been a double standard? If you have, put a 1 in the chat. I know we're not interactive, but leave us your comments. But here's some of the things I want to do under this particular topic. We're going to call it fair or unfair. And what it is some double standards. And then after I read each one, you guys let me know whether you feel it's fair or unfair. Fair enough? Cool? All right. So here we go.
Definitely cool.
Man makes all the money in a relationship and is sole provider. He's considered a man. He's considered a provider. He's considered the king of his castle, right? Woman stays home. She's a homemaker. She's a housewife, right? Accepted in our community, all good, not a big deal. But if a woman makes all the money and is the sole provider, and the man is a stay-at-home, right? Stays home. I'm a homemaker. I don't work. I just take care of the kids, cook and clean. He's considered a simp. Fair or unfair?
Unfair.
Unfair. Okay, unfair.
He considered a bum. He's considered a bum.
Exactly. He's considered a bum. Fair. And then once I go through them all, we can discuss. Discuss. I just want to go through the fair or unfair. That's cool with you guys. Man goes out with his friends to have a good time, right? Woman says, "Oh, you want to be single again? You want to go back out there in the streets? There's nothing out there for you." Woman goes out with her friends. I'm stressed. I'm overwhelmed. I needed to get out of the house, and it's okay. Fair or unfair?
Unfair.
Unfair. All right. A woman goes out and spends excess money, right? Just goes out and you come home and you see a $10,000 sofa, right, in your living room, right? She's considered responsible. This brings extra income. This brings up the value of the house. This is great for the house, and we're supposed to put up with it. Man goes out and spends a whole bunch of money, $10,000 on, let's say, a new lawnmower, a new weed whacker, and wasting money. Fair or unfair?
Unfair, my friend.
Unfair. Okay. Unfair. Man cheats. He's considered a player. Woman cheats. She's considered trash. Fair or unfair?
Fair.
Whoa. Listen, this is not a yes or no question right here, bro.
No, we said
fair or unfair. Fair or unfair.
Okay, it's unfair, but I have caveats that I'll explain later.
Fair enough. I got two more. Fair or unfair? The woman has hobbies and interests outside the family, and the man gets mad, and her girlfriend say, "Oh, he's trying to control you. He's trying to tell you what to do, girl. You can go out there and have hobbies and interests if you want. Don't let him control you. He's like a controlling man." Man goes outside and has hobbies and interests outside his family, and he's disconnected from his family. You don't want a family anymore? You don't want to hang around us? We're not good enough for you? Fair or unfair?
Unfair.
Unfair? Okay. Last one. Woman lashes out at man, meaning woman just tells the man off. Just just gives him the business. She's considered disrespectful and does not honor her husband. Man lashes out at woman, and he's keeping his woman in check and keeping his house in order. Fair or unfair?
Unfair.
All right.
Unfair.
There it is. Fair or unfair? Give us your thoughts. I'm gonna let you guys jump in.
Go ahead, man.
Listen, okay. So I want to start, and I know this is out of order, but this is the thing that just is still in my brain right now, right?
Sex.
First of all, I want to throw it out here that if you look at the QR code, there's a video that kind of inspired some of what we're talking about. If you scan the QR code, it'll take you to the Instagram video that we were talking about. Obviously, Sid, you brought in that topic up a lot. But one of the things I wanted to really throw out there was the double standards on sex, right? Man goes out, he's a player. Woman goes out, she's a whore. She's a Scarlet, a Jezebel. She's all of these negative things. It is definitely unfair for anyone to not be. Sometimes the scale of kind of judgment has to be different, right? Because the impact of the act is different, right? And I'm not saying that a woman should be called a whore if she's sleeping with all these people. Like, at the end of the day, some of this stuff should be private. I shouldn't even know what's going on. But I just want to throw it out there that there are a lot of things that women are putting on the line every time they lay down in the bed with a man, that a man is not always facing the same troubles, right? Listen, I am harder on my daughter than I am my son in a lot of ways when it comes to that. Not because I think that my son shouldn't learn the same message, but here's what I know. My son doesn't have to worry about an abortion. My son doesn't have to worry about raising a child by himself. My son doesn't have to worry about certain things that my daughter would definitely have to worry about if she were to ever get pregnant or have certain things happen. And I'm not endorsing or condoning any of that behavior, but there are men in today's society that will literally say, I do not want anything to do with this child. I will sign away my rights. And I can tell you right now, if you think that a child support check is going to balance the scales, you are sorely mistaken.
Very true.
Right? Anybody that is a parent out there knows that, one, that's not enough money, and two, even if it was, just being present in the household means so much. When you want to go to sleep and that baby is up crying all night and you ain't got nobody to help you, that's a long night. You know what I mean? And so I say that to say, women, I don't believe that you should be judged, and I don't think that there should be this evil moniker on you because you have chosen to be friendly, promiscuous, whatever word is that you want to use. But I do want you to know that you should be mindful of the fact that there's an energy exchange that impacts both people differently, right? Each gender has their own problem, which is why I laugh about some of the other ones that you said. That was the one, though, that I just wanted to throw something out there. I know I just took a joke and made it real serious. But I want women to know it's all right, but it ain't all right. You know,
we see Miss Daily Insight.
Well, and I had some others, but that one, me and Gary didn't agree on that topic, per se. So when it came to that, women have a value on the box. Okay, so it's just like you have a vehicle, it has miles on it. Okay, men, when it comes to women, they want that car that's brand new versus used. So when it comes to that, women sometimes may value a car that has some miles on it when it comes to a man, because wow, it's the oil's working, the tires are fresh, it's worn in. But on the flip side, men value women that have stock in their engine, on their body. So therefore, when it comes to that, why would a man want a woman that has mouths on their body, on themselves? So that's why I say it is a double standard, but it's a correct double standard in the U.S. today. So that's what I stand on that.
If I can just add this in too, Sid, right? We talked about this. We talked about something similar a while back on the pod, right? And I want to say, I can't remember who it was, but it may have been DA. I'm not sure who it was, but somebody said in the crew that women control access to sex and men control access to marriage, right? And so here's what happens. Men end up getting praise for getting as much as they can because men don't have access to that. We don't control that, right? And so when a man is able to get something that is not just easily accessible, it's like, oh, dude, right? It's like, dude, you just got your JD, you just got your PhD, like you did something very few people can do. You went and got something that is not easily accessible, right? Which is why when a woman, when you're talking about getting married, Sid, was your marriage if you have a wedding ceremony, we all know it ain't for the man, right? True. That wedding ceremony is for a woman. She is celebrated for locking that dude down for the rest of his life. He is stuck like that.
True.
So we're both celebrated in different lights for different reasons, and it's because of what we know it takes to overcome the obstacle to get there. But we did say this is a judgment-free zone. I did say that I am judge nor jury. So I agree with you in wholeheartedly saying I'm not going to sit up there and call a woman a whore because she sleeps with a lot of people. Exactly. But I will say this. Some people may look at you and think exactly what Lump said, which is their value has kind of dipped a little bit. You know what I mean?
Well, what I'll say is this, then I want to get your thoughts on one of the other ones. I think we're in a different day and age, where things are just so different now. These kids in this generation, they got a boyfriend and a girlfriend, so, and then
Neo.
In our day and age. So I don't really think a woman should be judged at all by, what she wants to do with her body. But I will say, hey, there are all consequences to that as well.
That's all I was saying, brother.
Yeah, you can't get mad if a man's like, yeah, I'm good. I kind of want to go in a different direction. No disrespect to you or anything like that, but I kind of want to go this route as opposed to your route. But also at the same time, I won't sit here and say that women who do have a high amount of partners don't get men. A man might be like, hey, I'm good with that. It means you're very experienced. You're a veteran. You know what you're doing. So there's a lot of men see that as upside as well. So I see
nobody saying that, bro.
I mean, hey, porn stars get married too. Porn stars get married too. Porn stars there are a lot of porn stars out there who are happily married. So
listen, they married to simps or other porn stars.
Well, speaking of simps, man staying home, and while woman, let's say the wife is a plastic surgeon making $300,000 a year, and she's like, you can just stay home and cook and clean and take care of the kids, and I'll go to work. I think you guys said that he was this person would be considered a simp in your eyes. Give me your thoughts on that.
I didn't say that.
Okay, well, give me your thoughts. My bad.
That was Mr. Daily Insight, Mr. 15 million job man.
I said he was a chump nowadays because women want men that are providers. So why in the same token would you say I want a provider, but then you're okay with him being a stay-at-home dad? It doesn't make any sense. It goes against everything. You understand? But if the roles have reversed, women are working a lot and are holding the bag, are being more providers than men in this day and age. So when those roles are reversed, we are not in a situation or in an era to where those roles where women or men are okay with that. But if it's honestly between those two individuals, you know what I mean? So he's looked at a certain way, and society's going to look at you as a weak, simp, weak-minded individual man, and they won't respect you.
Exactly. So, hey, listen, I'll let you. You got to go out and find something to do. Like I don't care. Doesn't Stedman do something? What does Stedman do? Stedman is something. He's a librarian or something, right? I'm making jokes. I don't think he's a librarian, but Stedman does. He is okay. Well, you get my point.
No, I'm just saying. Listen, His job is to be a beard. Stedman's only job is to make people think that.
Oh, so he doesn't work. He doesn't have an actual job. He doesn't work.
Not to my knowledge. He might. Maybe,
okay, fair
maybe
enough.
Stedman has a podcast. Does Stedman have a podcast?
Yeah, go on. You listen, men out there, and listen. There's no disrespect to the men who are out there cooking 3 times a day. They're cleaning the house, dropping the kids off to soccer practice, football practice. Come on, don't. But my thing is, my man, go find something to do. You can go work at Best Buy, man. Get at least get the discount, or go be a philanthropist or something. Be a philanthropist,
Philanthropist for sure.
Yeah, and the Best Buy thing was a joke. But be a philanthropist. If your wife has all that money, help her spend it in a good way. Like, honey, I want to start a charity.
At Best Buy.
There's nothing wrong working at Best Buy.
There's nothing wrong with working at Best Buy.
There's nothing wrong working at Best Buy.
Listen.
But I guess what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, use some of that money, your wife's money, towards charity, or just find something productive. You don't have to be bringing in income, but just my thing is find something productive to do. I don't think a man's a simp, but I think at the end of the day, he has to find some kind of way to, be some kind of productive person inside the marriage outside of being a Mr. Mom. That's all my thing.
Well, listen, I'll say this, right? I think that there are so many things work for so many different people, right? And truth be told, if you ask me where we stand, I look at it like this. Listen, I remember there was a point in time in which I was working for a university, to remain nameless. I ain't promoting it. But I was working for a university, and I was actually in school at the same time getting my first master's degree, and there was some turnover, and truth be told, I got furloughed, right? And they allowed me to finish my degree, but there was a period of time for a few months where I was like, let me just finish my degree. In the meantime, I'm going to take care of home, right? And my wife held it down, right? And that doesn't mean that there weren't other avenues and other streams of income, but there are situations that lead to people being at the house. I agree with South Florida Sid, though. This shouldn't be the long-term solution, right? Like, if I'm at the house taking care of the kids, I will say this. For every parent that's a stay-at-home parent, whether you are a man or a woman, I respect the fact that is a real job, right? It is not easy. You getting phone calls to come to this kid's school at any random given time of the moment. But if that is who you are going to be in your relationship, then be that person and be the best version of that you can be. Don't be complaining about how tired you are. Man, can you give me a break, please? No, I'm not giving you a fucking break. Right? No, if you're gonna fucking be a stay-at-home parent doing that shit, then be the fucking best stay-at-home parent ever. Don't fucking call me at work talking about, Johnny got in trouble at school. I need you to help me. No, I'm not fucking helping you. Right? Your contribution to this fucking situation is this. God damn it.
Yeah.
It's this.
I love it. Let me get your thoughts on one more, because I know we're about to get to the next topic. Man going out, he wants to be single, he doesn't want to be with his family. Woman goes crazy. Woman going out, and she needs a break. She's overwhelmed. She's stressed out. She has the right to go and have drinks with her friends too. I know you guys both said that was unfair. Give me your thoughts.
Unfair.
Lump said, let's keep it simple, baby. It's unfair.
No, I believe
it's unfair.
I think a lot of times, I think a lot of times when men go out with their friends or men go on road trips with their friends, it's seen as, is he not happy at home? Is he going out there looking for something? But I feel like when women go on road trips with their friends or go out with their friends, it's, I need a break. I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed out. I deserve to have a break too. And their friends are like, he's just he's being controlling. He's not letting you be you and all this other stuff. And it's a huge double standard. My opinion, both parties need the opportunity to get away from each other, go on girls trips as long as respectful, guys trips as long as respectful. There should be no double standard with that, but there always is, you know.
I'll say this too, right? Just to add in, right? And I'll try to be short-winded as much as I can. I just want to say this, right? I want my wife. Listen, if my wife says I need a break, she deserves it. Take it. Do your thing, right? What I don't think should happen though is that we should become the gatekeepers to who gets to go fucking where whenever they decide to go, right? Like you can't tell me what my mental health state is at this moment. If I say, listen, and I will give my wife kudos, man, dude. I call my wife some days randomly as hell on a Tuesday, and I'm like, hey, baby, it's been one of them days. I need to hit up the cigar bar. I need to go grab me a cigar and a drink. You know what I mean? And that is just one of my releases because that's what works for me and brings me down. Listen to your partners, people, right? Listen to your partner. If your partner wants to get out and they need to get out, let them do that. Because if you force them to come home, they are coming home like Thanos with all of the rings on, and your ass better be ready for it. They are going to destroy some shit, and it might be your feelings in the process.
You are 100%.
Don't be mad at me when I come home and I'm like, don't even speak to me. Don't be fucking mad because I told you I needed a minute, and your ass didn't want to give it to me. Listen to your partner, people. If my wife says, dude, you need to get the hell out of my face and leave me alone, I am going the other way. I'm going the other way. So
yes,
just be open-minded, man. Listen to your partner. Don't do a double standard with that shit. Women, stop that shit. Stop making your man feel bad for wanting to hang out with the boys. He's going to be a better man when he comes home to you if you let him go out and get some of that masculinity for him.
Yes. Yes.
Listen, I can tell you right now, me and Mr. Daily Insight have literally wrestled on my patio, right? Sometimes men gotta just be men,
get that shit out. Yeah.
You want to get that shit out, baby. And I can't wrestle you because I might fuck around and hurt you. So let a man be a man. Men, let your woman be a woman. And if you don't like what their version of men and women look like, then that means you just made a bad selection, and you shouldn't have avoided the red flags when you had a chance to a long time ago.
Well, here's what I stand on with that topic overall with double standards. It's none of them are right. I'm glad that you guys mostly said they were most all unfair, and
they're all unfair. They're all unfair.
Yeah, they're all unfair.
Unfair.
From the women's side too. You know, double standards in relationships can end relationships, right? So at the end of the day, think about, you know, when you're putting yourself in some of these situations when we're doing our fair or unfair game. Am I doing this? You know, is this causing a rift in my marriage? Because if it is, you know, let me see what I can do to change. Because some of these were very, very simple. Even the one is I know one we didn't really talk about was when the woman lashes out at the man. You know, she's being disrespectful, not honoring her husband. But the man can just go ham on the wife. And it's like, well, he's keeping his house in order, and you know, and that's not right either. You know, so at the end of the day, be mindful of these double standards. They can end marriages, end relationships, and also, you know, that's what I stand on. What you got, Gary? What do you stand on?
Listen, I want to say once again, South Florida Sid, you've done a masterful job in navigating the conversation and giving us a chance to really explore both sides of the topic, right? So kudos to South Florida Sid on that. Here's the reality, right? And I almost forgot about the one that you just mentioned in your closeout about the lashing out. Listen, people, we all have a particular set of skills. There's some things in life that we're all really, really good at. And then there's some things that we suck at and we're not good at, right? Knowledge of self, self-exploration, self-accountability. These things protect you from yourself when you're about to do some stupid shit, okay? If you are lashing out at your partner, I don't care whether you're a man or a woman, you got problems, right? Go get your emotional self in check, right? If you are lashing out, that means you are unhappy, you are in a bad situation, and you really need to examine, how do I get myself out of this? And I'm not, back in the day, you used to be like, man, when I get this paycheck, I'm out. This some bullshit, right? And listen, if you are only in your relationship because you can't afford to pay your bills on your own, go get a roommate, motherfucker. Don't stay in a bad relationship. Communicate with your partner, man. Communicate before you engage in a serious relationship. These are great topics. South Florida said, if you're listening, if you are within earshot, right? Here's what you should know from this conversation. When you go out on your next date, play this video, play this clip right here, and say, hey, what are your thoughts on each one of these topics? Because these are things, like you said, that will destroy a relationship. I know that we have jokes and I know that we kind of make our little fun and games with it, but these are serious conversations. So, what I stand on is this. I stand on the fact that these are very, very sensitive topics, just like South Florida Sid said, that will ruin a relationship. Don't wait until the issue is in front of you to address the conversation, and then you like, damn, I done got with somebody that don't even believe in this shit, right? That shouldn't happen, right? And if you're still in a situation where you like, man, when I get my welfare check, I'm out this bitch, dog. If you are that dude, you don't need to be in a relationship at all, right?
Yeah, you're right.
you need to get it together. But double standards are wrong, right? You can't sit up there and put yourself in at the end of the day, it should be 100-100. There's no such thing as 50-50. Don't give me 50% of nothing. Give me 100 of what you got, because I'm going to give you 100 of what I got. And I'm going to allow you to do everything that I believe in, just like I believe you should do everything that you believe in. I want you to wake up and give me the best version of you every day. And the only way I'm going to get that is by listening to you tell me what you need.
Boom. Miss Daily Insight, you want to close this out? What do you stand on?
Mental health is real. Self-care is real. Get time for yourself, and that's it. Simple.
Boom. Love it. Love it. What do we got next?
Listen. So now let's go to the next topic.
The main event.
The main event. The Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul of the day. Listen, we're talking about discipline in your home, to spank, not to spank, corporal punishment, whatever you want to define it as, right? Let's have the conversation. We're all, actually every single one of us are parents on this pod, right? And so I want to throw this out here. There is a QR code to the video that kind of led to this conversation, but I'll give you a brief overview. A man finds his daughter twerking on social media. He walks in and catches her in the middle of a twerk session, and he spanks her with a belt. And he records it, and it is published. It is put out there. We have all been able to see it. My man went full-blown Adrian Peterson all over his daughter, right? That I believe her ass was bleeding when he got finished, right? She was definitely bleeding when he got finished with that ass, right? No diddy. So I'm just saying, we got to do a better job, people, right? We are no longer slaves. You don't need to beat your child to get them to understand something, right?
Says Dr. Umar.
You need to beat your child to understand something. The problem is actually with you, my friend. Why are you so damn angry? What is wrong with y'all, man? Dude, let that shit go. Sit down. Have a conversation with your kids, especially this young lady is not like 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. This isn't like a comprehension issue. This young lady was as tall as he was, and he's beating her like she is a new slave on the plantation. Don't you dare drink my lemonade. I'm just saying, and Daily Insight, I see you. I'm about to let you in, but I just want to say,
I'm in church.
I just want to say,
I got a finger. But go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say, we got to start having honest conversation in our communities.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We got to start to do a better job in our homes. the emotional damage that you do to a child when you are doing stuff like this. And I will say this. I need every Christian that's about to put in the chat or in the comment section to spare the rod is to spoil the child. Spare the rod and spoil the child.
Get him. Shout out to Mr.
That
Sheldon,
is a
man. We love you.
metaphor.
Shout out to
That
Mr.
is
Sheldon.
a metaphor. If you out there getting rods and beating the shit out of your kids,
Switches.
something's wrong with you, right? Something is wrong with you, people. And so, listen, Lump, I see you. Sid, I see you. Y'all check me if I'm wrong, but this is where we are right now. Uh-oh, put your glasses back on.
I have the data. Lump, can I throw some data out there? Lump, I have the data.
Throw it out there.
I have the data. This is some very interesting stats. I want everybody to listen to these stats I'm about to put out to you right now. 50%. This is according to a Harvard study. This is from 2021, so it's a few years old. But I'm pretty sure these numbers aren't going to sway either way in the last 2.5 years. 53% of the parents say they use physical discipline as a means to discipline their child. So 53% of the parents who took this poll say, yes, I spank my child. Parents who hit their kids are 17% more likely to be from low-income households than high-income households. So they're starting to make this a money thing. Low income, low income is $80K or less in the house, in the median income in the household. I thought that was big. So they're trying to say in the study that people who make $80K or less in the household, unfortunately, are more likely to spank their child. 52% of Black Americans approved of physical discipline. 48% of Hispanics and 46% of white Americans say, yes, I agree with physical discipline. The Harvard study showed that 52% of men agree with spanking, but only 42% of women. Now, here we go with the spare the rod, spoil the child. My man, Gary, my man, G Money. 60% of the people with a religious background believe in spanking. It's a pretty high number. And last but not least, I figure we get a good laugh out of this. 68% of Republicans believe in spankings. Only 38% of Democrats. Only 38% of Democrats believe in spanking. I don't know. For some odd reason, I'm not surprised.
Shout out to the social programs. Mr. Daily Insight.
I would say this. Doctor, I used to believe in spankings, because that's how a lot of us grew up.
Yeah.
I didn't get a lot of spankings growing up, but yeah, my parents, they grew up in that era, spare the rod, spoil the child. Your kid gets out of hand, you kill him, and that's how you get him back in line. That's how we all grew up. A lot of that's from the South, and I listened to an episode by Dr. Umar Johnson, and he gave me the background behind
slavery.
Discipline came from the slave, from the slave time, when the slave masters used to beat the men in front of the women and children. The men used to feel so emasculated that they would go home and take all that anger out on their children. And it's a lot deeper. He goes a lot deeper as well. But that was the one portion I took from that. And since that day, I've never hit my child ever again. At the end of the day, I agree with you, Gary. We have to find ways to evolve. We don't have to live in Jim Crow 1966 anymore. We don't have to keep using, well, what's good for my dad is good for me. Yeah, eating ham hocks and pig feet was good back in the day too. But nowadays we find out it'll kill you. So guess what? People don't eat that stuff anymore.
Where's the sound effect for the ham hocks?
Yeah, people don't eat that stuff anymore. Shout out to the people who used to eat pig feet growing up. I'm telling you, when you know better, you do better. And one more piece of, one more thing I'll say before I let Lump jump in is that, I feel like, it was a little disheartening that Black Americans were the highest of the races, right? And I know this is a random stat, so,
There's a reason for that.
But it was a little disappointing that Black Americans were the highest in that list.
Not
that,
surprising.
We still believe in, spanking our kids like that. So, but go ahead, Lump. My bad. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead, Lump.
And can y'all hear me? Am I coming in clear? Can you guys hear me? Am I coming in clear?
Yeah.
All right.
You're coming in clear, bro.
Well, one of the things that I look at, right, with that. You mentioned the disparity of wealth gap when it comes to that. But I also believe when it comes to that disparity, as far as the wealth gap and who spanks their child and who doesn't, those individuals have more issues with their children. They're being mass murderers. I know there's statistics on this stuff. If you don't have any type of discipline, kind of what is getting to them, taking away a cell phone, taking their keys from their vehicle, there are more issues tied to that if you're not more so disciplining your child physically than just having a conversation. Having a conversation, you're striking no fear in them. They don't take you as serious. What's Tommy doing? Tommy's in his room. He's on timeout. No phone, no anything. He's building a bomb in his room right now. You don't have no idea what the hell he's doing. You understand? So I think more so having more so that physical, punishment is essentially, good for the child. Now, I'm gonna bring up a study that was, or basically this Dr. Sage of Tufts Medical Center in Boston. He says experiencing corporal punishment makes it more, not less, likely that children will be defiant and aggressive in the future. The group says in its new guidelines to pediatricians, there is no benefit to spanking. No benefit to spanking. So what are you guys' thoughts of that?
Oh, I completely agree. I think at the end of the day, corporal punishment creates more emotional issues than it does solve physical problems, right? The reality is it is human nature that if I say Sid, the stove is hot, don't touch it. As a young child, the first thing Sid is going to do is touch the stove, right? When I say don't touch it, the first thing you're going to do is touch it. And instead of doing that, and instead of just leading by do what I say do because I say do it, which is a basic level of management and leadership, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is the bottom layer of management and leadership. You teach people about what this is and what is going to happen, what are the risks, right? Bill Cosby tried a long time ago to put out a TV show to let us know that there are alternative ways to teach your children lessons, right? You should be educating your child, not beating your child. Now, I want to be
Can
very
you do
clear.
both? Can you do both?
Well, listen, life is about balance, right? But let me say this. I think that there is a difference between a spanking, right? Which might be, hey Jimmy, come here. And you bend Jimmy over your knee and you smack him on the butt with your hand, and then they go run off and play, right? I believe that is a form of discipline when you are worried that your child doesn't have the ability to comprehend the nature of the conversation that you are trying to bring to them, right? And so I don't believe that as a parent we should be trying to lead with fear. I don't want my child to be afraid of me. I want my child to respect me as a leader, as a follower, as a leader who has been a follower in the past, right? Like it is the guy who is trying to work on a craft and master the craft. You start as an entry level person and you build your way up, right? And eventually you get to open your own business, right? And maybe this is a terrible analogy, but the reality is I was a child before I was a parent, right? There's a lot of things that my parents did that I disagree with to this day. And I remember when I was younger, I was like, I can't wait to have a kid. I'm going to raise them way better than my parents did because that shit was unnecessary. All I'm saying is we got to get better. I don't know how you were raised, and I'm not going to be the one to sit here and tell you that you were raised improperly, right? What I will tell you is we should be getting better. The goal is every generation should be better than the last generation. If you're not a better parent than your parents were for you, then you're failing your children. If all you want to do is mimic what brought you to where you are, then your kids will consistently earn the same level of what you have earned. I don't want my kids to be like me. I want my kids to be better than me. I don't want my kids to get a master's degree or 2 master's degrees. I want my kids to have whatever degrees they need to achieve whatever they want to achieve, whether that's a PhD, a JD, or whether that's just a certification in a business that they've opened on their own. Like, At the end of the day, I'm not trying to duplicate a million little GJH writers cramp. I don't need 30 of them. What I need is somebody to stand on my shoulders and achieve more than I did. Take the name first.
One thing I want to jump in and say, because I know that the Spare the Rod Sport a Child crew's in here. Shout out to Mr. and Miss Sheldon. Shout out to my mom who watches the podcast. And I would pose this question, right? What if the rod was just a symbol?
That's all it is.
Right. Let's just say we took rod out and say spare discipline, spoil the child, right? You could easily move out rod and put in discipline, meaning, there's different forms of how you can discipline your child, and spanking isn't the only one. There's other ways of giving discipline. And I feel like our parents, our great-grandparents, our great-great-grandparents read that Bible, saw rod, and went and got a rod. Well, that's what the Bible said. The Bible said rod. I don't argue it. Hey, you know how our parents are. They're old school. We don't argue with the Bible. We don't second guess it. If it says rod, that's what it meant. That's it, right? However, once you get older, you become more, I don't want to use the word educated because I don't want to assume everybody, I don't want to say people are uneducated if they don't understand the meaning behind rod, but maybe, I'm just posing something. Maybe rod wasn't an actual rod. It was just discipline. Now, I'll say this, and I'm going to make sure we're clear. Every once in a while, I'm pretty sure Lump and G Money will agree. Every once in a while, we do understand you have to put your kids through a wall.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to put their butts through a wall every once in a while, because they're gonna get out. They're gonna test you, and you're gonna tell them you're testing me. You're getting, and every once in a while, we understand you got to put their face through a wall.
Yeah.
That is also the rod as well. The rod is that too. Okay, now I really got to show you who I am. However, the example that we were talking about with the dad went in there and beat the girl half to death and recorded it on live or whatever it was. That, I mean, come on, man. What are you doing? Like, you're embarrassing your daughter. Yeah, you're embarrassing your daughter. You're embarrassing yourself because you look like a psycho. And at the end of the day, what did you really do? I can pretty much guarantee that girl hates that guy, hates him to death. She'll never forget that. She will never, ever. I was talking to a cigar buddy of mine about this topic, and he was like, man, he's from Chicago. Shout out to my man Chi-Town, who's a loyal listener. Shout out to him, man. I'll see you at the cigar bar next week. And he's like, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to say specifically who the person was. It's somebody in my family, unfortunately, who I don't talk to this day because of how this person disciplined a girl cousin of mine in front of me. And ever since then, I never messed with them again, ever. He's like, I was 8. He's like, I'm damn near 48 years old, and I still don't talk to that person to this day, ever. These types of things, you think kids forget it. You think even the kids who witness it forget it. But man, that stayed with them for years, for decades, about 40 years. And to this day, my man Chi-Town said, I still do not talk to this person ever, since that day. It's traumatizing,
Well, and then and these are great points, guys, as far as finding involved in finding different ways to discipline your kids. I was disciplined, and Mr. Gary, my mom, I got beat with switches, stitch cords, brooms, everything under the sun. Now, did I need it? Maybe. It was one of those moments, like you said, Jay said, you got to teach your kids, don't try me, I'm gonna put you through this wall. In those moments where she got the broom, she got the stitch cord, and everything else. Guess what? I learned, hey, listen, never to disrespect mom. Mom's here to help. Respect mom. That's it. You understand? And so I think it taught me lessons. And moving forward, like you said, I have kids, and every now and then, like my oldest child, I don't have to discipline her. I don't have to spank her. I look at her and have a stern conversation, and I don't need to spank her. Now the little one, she off the chain. She gonna push them buttons, and we may have to put her through a wall. You understand? So I also think it just depends on the child. So, to be honest.
We'll close this out, G Money. What do you stand on concerning this topic?
Well, hold on. I want to say something before I stand, but I'm gonna stand too. Right? Absolutely. So let me start with this, because I want transparency and full transparency. Yes, I wasn't spanked. I was born. Listen, I would say I was abused. I was boy.
Agreed.
Boy, listen,
Agreed.
my mom. I remember my mom beat me with a weight belt. Right, my mom, like, I'm
Damn.
talking about a weight belt like that you put on when you squatting.
We-
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
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 I got beat with shoes. I got beat with all kind of household products. Listen, I will say this. I think that right now I can tell you that I have traumas that I never thought I would have as an adult for a lot of different reasons, right? And I will say this. I think that it is traumatic and terrible that sometimes people in low income communities are surrounded by other people that are low income people with lack of education, lack of information, all of these things, which also lead to sometimes us making very bad decisions. Some of our surroundings influence our decision making, which lead to us doing things that our parents didn't know how to handle, right? Our parents didn't know what to do with us when we were not doing what we were supposed to do and down the street. And I know my mom was always like, listen, I ain't trying to raise no grandkids, right? And I'm
Yeah.
out here sneaking out the house and sneaking in some girl's window. Listen, I'm not saying I was not the picturesque child, right? So what I stand on is, as a parent, try the access that we have to information today is not what it was when our parents were raising us, right? So you have a responsibility as a parent to one, take the emotion out of it. Don't be sitting up here mad because your child didn't listen to you. They're not going to listen to you the first time you say something. That is basic, and that should be understood.
That's a problem.
Now what we should do is take a moment. Let's Google some stuff. Let's buy some books. Let's they've always said, if you want to hide it from a brother or sister, put it in a book. All I'm saying is Google it. Find out different ways to have a conversation with your kid about the things that are happening in their lives, right? My kids, my first set of twins, that rod was not. I did not spoil the rod. I put it on them because I did what I knew how to do.
Learn.
And now my young child is growing in a different. I am a different person, and she's being raised in a different way. And I can tell you that she's emotionally probably healthier than anybody else in this household. So be informed. Be better today than we were yesterday. I'm not sitting up here judging people that believe in spanking their child, but I don't believe in abuse, right? If the lesson is not the most important part of whatever it is that you're doing, then you're failing your child. If this is about just creating a sense of fear and just tearing into your child's behind, no diddy, right? That's a problem. That's a problem. So I'm just saying, take advantage of the tools that you have, do some research, be informed, be a better parent today than you were yesterday, and know that our parents did the best that they could, so you should do the best that you can. And you have access to things that your parents didn't have, so you shouldn't always sit here and talk about doing the same things your parents did. Even though you might have turned out okay, who's doing the auditing on that? I can tell you right now, I thought I was perfect until my wife met me and told me, boy, you tripping. You got all kind of trauma, right? So remember, it's not about what you believe. You're the auditor. If you're the auditor of your own stuff, you're going to skew the results. Ask somebody else if you okay. I guarantee you they're going to be like, well, you do got a few issues. But that's what I stand on. Be better. Be better. Use the information. Use the things that you have access to be the best you can. At the end of the day, they're your children. And you should want what's best for them. And it should be better than what you have in yourself.
Exactly. Well, here's where I stand on this side of psychopaths. Like, we're taking psychopaths out of the equation here. If you beat your child and you feel worse about it than they do afterwards, you probably shouldn't beat them. I always use that as a good barometer as to whether they should have gotten beat or not. at the end of the day, there's more than one way to skin a cat. You know, talking things out. Taking. People always say, and Gary and Lump, you guys are probably agreeing, the whooping only lasts a few minutes, then it's over. But if you get grounded for like 3 months, like no TV, no video games, no going outside. All you can do is go home and read a book. I remember my pops made me read Makes Me Want to Holler and Autobiography of an Ex-Colored Man. Okay. Yeah, by Nathan McCall. I read so many books that summer. I read book after book, and that was my punishment. And that I would have rather him beat the hell out of me. But those were some great books, by the way. At the time, I didn't understand what he was doing, but I just read those books. But that was more punishment than getting a 5-minute beating, and then me and him watching the Hurricanes 15 minutes, because he felt bad, So at the end of the day, there's more than one way to skin a cat. None of us are telling you what to do with your child. You know your child better than us. But at the end of the day, if you have not seen that video, go and look that video up and ask yourself, is this the kind of parent I want to be? And if you and make the decision for yourself. And that's what I stand on. Lump, what you got?
Go ahead. Real quick.
Go ahead, G.
Great book, by the way, Nathan McCall. My first ever book I read as a middle school kid. Great book.
Great book.
Honestly,
great
I think social media is hyper sensitizing whoopings. And nowadays it's making it seem like it's worse than what it is. But again, just evolve as a parent and do better. So that's all I have.
And listen, I get it. And Lump is saying, listen, sometimes you gotta whip your child. Sid is saying sometimes you gotta throw their ass through the wall, whatever it is. Right? Listen, I'm not telling you to be a robot, right? And I'm not, but I did want to circle back around and just say this, because Sid brought up that punishment thing. There's something to be said about a 23-and-1 lockdown too, right? There's some psychological impacts to locking your kid in a room with no sunlight. No video games, no TV.
Hey,
one glass of water and a bologna sandwich. There's don't do that shit.
Make sure they're not filling up on. All right. Just make sure they're not filling up on.
Yeah, good point. Hey, you're right. Good point. Great points. Another great podcast, gents.
You already know.
Another great pod. We hoping you guys loved it.
Hey, listen.
I want to give a few shout outs if you don't mind.
Well, hold on, man. We got a message from one of our sponsors too, right?
Oh, my bad.
Look, run that video from the sponsor, bro.
Run it. My bad.
And now, a message from our sponsor.
People always tell me, Jason, man, you throw the greatest parties. What's your secret? And I say, actually, it's pretty simple. 2 rules. Rule number 1, don't ever run out of Gibbs Reserve wine. Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. Gibbs Reserve wine. You'll love the way it tastes.
Remember, always drink responsibly.
I love it. Thank you. I love it. I'm getting a new. I already have the script for the new commercial, G. So we're gonna tape it live in Orlando. I need Jada's help. I need some of her friends' help. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be funny. So we will be taping a new commercial for Gibbs Hall Wine in mid-May. So we're gonna switch things up a little bit. But I do want to give 2 quick shout outs if you don't mind. On May 10th, there will be a cancer walk on May 10th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Anybody who needs school hours, volunteer hours, hit us up on the I Stay On That podcast chat. We'll get you that information. We'll announce it one more time because we do have a show on May 5th. So I'll give you all the details, but just throwing it out there. If any of your kids need volunteer hours, they're doing a cancer walk in Fort Lauderdale from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. They can use all the volunteers they can have. And shout out to my niece whose 21st birthday was on Tuesday. Janelle, what's up, baby girl? Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good week. I will see you tomorrow at your barbecue. I'm bringing a tequila, and we're going to bring some steaks, and we're going to have a good time, and we're going to party it up. And you're officially 21 now. You're officially into the club. So shout out to you. Cheers to you. We'll see you tomorrow.
According to South Florida Sid's top 10, Sid, you better not take your old ass to that club. I know that shit.
You're right. I am not going. You're right about that.
I just want to give a shout out as well. I want to remind people, we talked about HBCUs, PWIs. We talked about endowments and giving back. find out when is your school doing their campaign to give back. I know right now FAMU is doing the 1887 strikes campaign where they are asking everybody to donate. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. If you got a little bit of money on you and you don't know what to do with it, feel free to donate it to the College of Law. If you like your boy, if you don't, give it to the university. If you don't want to FAMU, you went to. Take $25, man. If you just did $25 and donated it to an HBCU, you'd be surprised at how far that goes. If you take a couple dollars and you give it to the PWI, believe me, people, you did not arrive at your destination on your own accord. Something, someone, some people had to have helped you get there. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Give back. If you haven't done anything for anyone other than yourself this week, you got 24 hours left. And don't roll up, spark up, or do no 420 activities until you've helped an old lady. Do earn your smoke on 420, people. Help an old lady across the street. Do something. Help an old man find his teeth that he lost in this place somewhere. Do something for somebody other than yourself, you selfish sons of bees.
And with that, we will see y'all in 2 weeks. We'll see you in 2
Hey,
weeks.
let us know.
Thank you for joining us.
Let us know if you like the recording. Let us know if you prefer it live. No kitty. You know what I mean?
Let us know in the comments how we did. Come on. Definitely show us some love.
I stand
we'll
on
see
that
y'all
podcast.
in 2 weeks. Bam.
Here, I'm within a reality. I'm here at the Voice Mixer. I want you guys to go on that podcast. If you guys haven't done so already, well, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, follow him on IG, Facebook, all of the social medias, because it will be worth it.
Great.